Hey guys, Denzel here from Compost Quarter. It's 8 o'clock on a Sunday morning, and I'm gonna finally get around to feeding these worms. I've been just kind of putting it off and waiting for a good day, but we're gonna get it done today, and I'm actually gonna do it the right way. So the last time you saw me, I just kind of threw the food in, and then the flies came, and I had to scramble to get it covered. I'm not gonna do any of that anymore. Today, I'm going to completely pull one side of the bin all the way over and heap it up really tall, and then I'm gonna bottom feed them. So hopefully when they eat and then they have to drop their castings, they're gonna go away from the food. Well, the only way to go is over and up. So hopefully they'll deposit their castings on the top layer, then I can actually get to work harvesting them instead of having to dig to the bottom every time. So stay tuned. I hope you like it. Still, I'm doing a little bit different of a feeding today. They're getting a whole hand of bananas that have been rotting for about a week in a bucket, and I also put in some coconut coir, so I'm going to show you that. Okay, so it's over half a bucket. You can see the coconut coir. It's already been hydrated and spread out, and then these bananas are really rotten down in here. So as you guys know, the worms do require the bacteria and the fungi to start breaking down the food so that they can absorb it. I put a single piece of old rotting vegetation from our kitchen in there that was already inoculated with those cultures, and then I put it in here, and the consistency and the smell of this has changed so much in 4 days, 5 days. This whole pile is completely inoculated with that bacteria that the worms are going to need. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the bin apart. I'm going to show you all the worms I can, and then we're going to start bottom feeding them. Oh, they're right there already. Wow. Sorry, lighting is not great, but there you can see a few. They're doing so unbelievably well. God, they're everywhere. This stuff feels really matted down, but as soon as you touch it, it falls apart. So many of them. I believe this is castings. It's a whole lot darker. And it's not the darkness that just comes from being moist. It is very broken down, other than the big dumb crap I still had in there. It is very broken down. Oh, there's a buddy. Cool. Well, that's going to be our feeding spot right there. Okay, so I've got the bedding. This is about 6 boxes that were all shredded, and there's quite a bit of paper in there as well. I'm not sure if you can make it out, but this is a piece of box, and this is paper. So 2 different, I guess you could say, coarseness levels in there. It's all nicely soaked, or pre-soaked anyway. When I put that in the bin, I am going to wring it out and try to get as much water out of it as possible. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of it in there now. This does count as brown matter. More brown matter, the cooler your bin will be. If you put in lots of greens and veggies and stuff like that, you're going to spike that temperature, so be careful. Ask me how I know. Oh yeah. So if you're worried about the bedding not being inoculated with this culture, it's in this humid environment, it's going to inoculate itself in probably a few hours, so I'm not too worried about it. We're going to go ahead and throw more bedding in there. You can see the coconut core. Oh yeah, it's smells fragrant. It doesn't stink or reek or anything like that, but you definitely know there's some activity going on in there. But it's nice and airy. The worms are going to digest that really well, so I'm going to let that be their food area. I'm going to put a little more bedding in there. Going to keep that area cool, because as that food breaks down, it is going to release moisture, which is going to raise the temperature. So this bedding is going to act as a buffer. Plus, as this breaks down, they eat it as well, because this is their main food source. It's not actually the food you're feeding them. It's the bedding that they eat the most. So that's why you want the most bedding. Okay, now I'm going to cover that up. Nice and mounded on one side. Alright, so I don't open it all the way. I just open it. You don't want to go all the way open. You want to crack it back a little bit. And I will just okay guys, so that's the proper way to feed worms. As you can see at the very end there, I probably put about a half a gallon of water throughout the whole bin, maybe a little bit more. Not trying to drown the worms out. They do breathe through their skin, so you don't want to oversaturate the soil. That will drive them to the surface. The other good thing about that bin is because it's so deep and I've got maybe less than the bottom half covered, there's a really nice air pocket between the soil and the outside air. So that acts as another layer of insulation, which is great. I might have said it in the video already, that bin sits at a nice 80 to 82, basically all day, every day. But as far as you can see, as the feeding went, it's very straightforward. Have your food and bedding prepared a few days beforehand. The bedding should be very lightly moist, because if you put a little bit underneath the food and then put more on top, that's going to create a really nice moisture control area. Okay, you don't want it to get too soppy, but it's going to allow the worms to breathe and reproduce. I think I showed you guys quite a few babies in there, very small worms, and then there's some really big ones, so I know they're breeding and I know they're happy. That's really it. That's what I should have done the first 2 times. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions or concerns, or if you just want to give a shout out, I appreciate you watching the video, and I'll see you next time. Denzel from Compost Quarter, out.